stuck. And I thought, oh, there's a saying for me. I'm going to keep that one. So that's what I want to really portray today, is that I believe I've gone my whole life, luckily, with a positive mindset, and it's from my parents. So I think I just want to know that for what I do as a parent, from my point, is that I try and instill in my children what my parents instilled to me, that anything is possible. It doesn't mean you're not going to hit any obstacles. But if you do, deal with them. Be ready for them. Say how you're going. Just because you do it one way and other people do it another way, it isn't wrong. You have to deal with your obstacles exactly as they come to you. And that's when you get support around you. You need support around you to deal with those. So again, it goes back to creating a life you love. So I think you need to plan. You look at the big picture. And when people say, oh, well, in the hope you're here, Sarah, if I hoped for something, then I never would have really gone past my, the poorest area of town. I would have said to Mum and Dad when they got me into that better school, no, I'll just pedal the bike 5 minutes away to the house. I just pedal my bike an hour every day in any condition. But I still went, and it made me very driven. It made me see there's another type of life you can have. But it also made me see that by having a positive mindset, you can create a life that you love. Thank you.
Well, there was one of my speeches. It was a 20-minute speech. I do longer speeches that are, I would probably say 60 to 90 minutes. But I knew a 20-minute speech would give just a bit of a rundown on what I talk about at events. So you heard a little bit of my story there. And when I show the books that I've done in the last few months, I will actually just go into why I've picked certain stories, and you may be able to, from the speech that you've just heard, just listen and go, okay, she talks a little bit about that in her speech. That's a really, really important part of her life. Oh, I didn't realise that bit about her story. So I'm going to share the books coming up. But what I'd like to do first, because one thing I really, really encourage people to do when they're thinking about their big picture thinking is about setting goals. So a lot of time people say to me, well, why should I stay positive and plan ahead? Like, isn't it just going to happen? Haven't I just got to sit back and life is just going to go the way it's going to go? But I really, really believe that you have to try and set it in a way that you want it to turn out well. So when you set a goal, they should be set regularly and evaluated throughout the year to keep you motivated and on track. Because if you don't, how are you going to know how well you're doing? So the first and most difficult step in goal setting is finding a goal that's right for you in your situation. Think about that. Think about what you want to put together. Think about why you love it. And think about how you're going to get there. There's short-term goals, long-term goals. Make sure that if you set a big goal, just do those little steps to get there. Don't think, oh, I'm not going to be able to get this big thing done. I'm not being successful. Then in that case, if it's a big thing, you need to break it down so you can kind of guarantee that you're going to get there. Don't ever set yourself back on purpose. I know you don't think it's self-sabotage, but don't set yourself something so high and you go, nope, I haven't been able to get to that. And really when you get there and it feels amazing and you feel like you've just created that ambitious streak and the success has come that you're looking for, you know that it has to be small steps to get to the higher goal and achieve that. And that really is down to patience. Now, one thing, you heard me talk about it in the speech, gratitude. Absolute gratitude in all areas of your life. And again, when I've spoken to people, because I'm a people person, so I get to speak to a lot of people day to day, and they say to me, well, what have I got to be thankful for? Because my life isn't that good. And I get them to really, really dig deep and think about things that they're grateful for in their life. And then before you know it, they've got a list of 5 things that they really, really do have gratitude for. So even if some things have changed in your life and they haven't gone a certain way as you believed they might, or you've been promised from someone else that they might go that certain way and they don't, try and find gratitude in the situation that you're now in and look at that and be thankful and realize that, some things that you're complaining about, someone else is dreaming about and thinks, oh, I wish that would happen for me. So think about where you're standing. Think about the gratitude you should have for any situation that you're finding yourself in, because this is your life and you're sculpting that life every day. Manifestation. Now, I love that word. Many words years ago, that word wasn't used. And people would say, well, what does manifest mean? And really what it does is just thinking and putting something out there and really thinking about the details. What do the details look like? I'm going to put a plan together. I'm going to act as if it's happening. And basically what you do is treat your mind like a vision board. So you just think, okay, if I was going to make a vision board tonight and put every single thing on it that I wanted to do, how does my life look? How does this goal look? How does this job look? How does this family situation look? How does my financial situation look? Manifestation, it's like putting things into place just like a vision board and then acting as if it's happening. So it doesn't mean it's got to make you bankrupt, because people say, well, manifestation is not real. It isn't real. But really think about what you want. Try and put that plan into action and write it down and visualize and just fill yourself with gratitude as if it's already happening, and say, okay, this is going to happen for me. I really want this to go this way, and believe that it's going to go that way, and really give yourself any opportunity to make that succeed. Because I believe that opportunities are everywhere. They're just absolutely everywhere, and they're not setbacks, they're opportunities, and how you use those opportunities is how you're going to guarantee your success or not. They're everywhere, and they help us succeed with getting us ready to receive when we manifest what we want in life. Now, when I think about that, I think so many great things have happened to me on a personal level that I didn't realize I was manifesting them. I didn't realize that, and then they would happen. And I'd think, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to do this. I've wanted to be in this place. I've wanted to be in this moment. And it's happened for me. So too many great things have happened to me within my life over the last 44 years for me to even think that it's not real. So I know some people listening will say, nope, nothing good has happened. But if you met me face to face and we had a conversation, I definitely would have you dig into your life and find some great things, because I always go to a place of love and positivity before I go onto the other side of things where I go, okay, that's awful. But I really, really look on those sides. So think about opportunities and think about being inspired by things. Really put yourself in situations of inspiration. Think about what inspires you and set yourself up for success to be able to be inspired, use the information given, feel that energy of being inspired. So think about what you need to do to be inspired to move forward in your goal setting. Now, another thing which can be controversial is who you share the goals with. I would like to say share it with people, and they'll encourage you and they'll be enthusiastic and they'll help you get there. But that isn't necessarily so. It isn't always true that when you share these dreams and aspirations that they're actually going to be received well by people within your family. And that goes back to what I've talked about in many of my interviews, many of my Facebook posts, many of my motivational things that I talk about, is that your top 5 is so, so important. Who you create within that circle is so important for your success. So think about that. Share with people that really, really share the inspiration that you're feeling and the motivation that you're showing. It's so important to get people on your side that believe that you can do it. And again, it doesn't mean that they want to do the same thing or they have any aspirations to do the same thing. All they want to do is support you getting where you're getting, whatever that means, wherever that's going. Because when I talk about creating a life that you love, I talk about doing it on your terms. And whatever your terms mean, it has to be down to what you think. So do share what you're planning, what you're doing with people that are like your backup plan. They are a support system. And if they really support what you're doing, they're going to make you accountable. Because once you share with them what you're looking to do, they're going to keep asking you. Not because they're trying to test how far their goal is getting, how many years left you've got to get there. They don't necessarily want the technicalities behind it. They want to know if you're still moving forward with it. And they're going to help you focus. So when I say they're going to hold you accountable, I hope they're going to just motivate you to move forward by asking you, where are you at with this? Well, I'm here and it's coming along. And I love it. Or if something is not going along, as fast, or you having some setbacks here and there, it's really great when you've got a good support system around you to be able to talk to them about that. Now, celebrate. I love to celebrate. You heard the song that I played at the beginning of the show, the Black Eyed Peas, You've Got a Feeling. Anything that's got an energetic tone to it, energetic music, great words, really, really gets me going. So celebrate has been a very, very big part of my life. If you're from a Jamaican background, you will know that your life revolves around music as you're growing up. I was in a mixed-race family, so my mum was English and my dad was Jamaican. And luckily for us, for me, my brother and sister, my mum also loved music. So I grew up around music and celebration. And because we didn't grow up with anything, you heard in my speech that, we didn't have much growing up. So to celebrate the smallest thing is what we did. So I've grown up celebrating. So I want to encourage you to do that today. When you're going through goal setting, when you're going through success, celebrate the smallest thing. Because even though it's not exactly the big thing that you've got, really celebrate every small thing. They don't have to be elaborate or run up an overdraft. You just need to recognize and celebrate that you've done something amazing, you've moved forward. And so I'm going to say reward yourself in the best way that you know how. We've all got a different level of what we call celebration. Now, because I don't drink alcohol, you saw me mention that in the speech earlier, I've lived an alcohol-free life. I don't think, okay, I'm going to go out and have a few drinks and dinner and have a bottle of wine. I don't think that. I'm a little bit of a shopaholic here, so I would think, I might just pop down to the mall and treat myself to a pair of shoes or a new purse. Or time. It doesn't have to mean that celebration means you're buying something for yourself. It doesn't mean buy dinner, buy a bottle of wine, buy shoes. It doesn't mean that. It means give yourself some time just to commend yourself and give you a big, nice high five, pat on the back, and just commend yourself for where you're going. Now, as you're going along on that journey, be really, really careful not to compare yourself to others. Comparison to others can be very, very toxic, and it can really go into you and just put you off. And it also can help you it helps you think, it makes you think that you're not doing as well because you start comparing. You really need to stay within yourself and think about how well you're doing. Do not look at other people and what they're doing as far as their goals. It doesn't mean you can't have mentors that you look up to that help you and guide you. But don't compare and say, well, Billy's got this and Joan's got that and I need to have it like this. Really, really try not to do the comparison. Try to stay on track with exactly what you're doing, and continue to write this down so you know what your vision is, not somebody else's. Now, I've mentioned this a couple of times today, patience. Now, I've really, really learnt patience over the years. I think when I was a bit younger, I wouldn't say I was impatient necessarily, but I made decisions very, very quickly. And as I've got older and, older and wiser, I'm a lot more patient in getting things done and looking at big picture planning and everything that I want to get done. So as far as patience goes, do think that you have to execute patience in many, many areas of your life. So do know that that's a really, really important plan. So that's one of the things that, I really, really want to get across today is that it's all about planning everything that you need to succeed. Like in the speech, I talked about full glass. What does that mean to you? What does having a full glass mean to you? I'm sure it means different. It's different to what other people think is a full glass. And again, you're lucky to have a glass. Think about that. Also, when I talk about gratitude, show gratitude for your accommodation. Like wherever you are, wherever you're living, just be happy that you have somewhere to live. That's something else that, I grew up in a very, very poor area of town. And, my ambition, although I had a very, very happy home and wonderful family, I just wanted to live a little bit better than we had, and that was part of my ambition. And now as an adult I do get to live a little bit, but every step of the way I've had absolute gratitude for my accommodation at whatever level it's been at. I have felt proud, I've been excited, and I've been very, very happy to be there. And now I'm lucky enough to live in my dream destination in Canada. In my location that I live in is just beautiful. I feel absolutely honoured every day to live where I live, and what I get to look out of my windows in my house. I have to pinch myself that, into my 40s now, I'm actually getting the life that I'd always talked about. And another thing, people are so important in your life. When I talk about real growth starts with your relationship with people. So it can't all be done alone. You can't say, right, I'm setting this goal at 15 years old. I'm going to get this goal here at 45 years old. You've got to really, really think about your relationships with people as you're going along that and think how that's helping you get to the next place, get to the next level. So definitely real growth starts with your relationship with people. And, going back a couple of minutes there when I talked about patience, why should I execute patience? Why should I show patience? Because frankly, something amazing could be waiting for you at the other side. So instead of thinking something big, there could be something that is definitely at the same level you're at now, but it could just be amazing. So let's wait for that. And again, think about the planning of it. What will you be doing in 52 weeks' time? Now, I talk about the 52-week plan. So when I do workshops with groups of people, I talk about the 52-week plan and what do we want to achieve over that time. And we break it down. We look at our obstacles in each month. We look at everything that we want to achieve, how we're going to do it, who's going to help us do it, what's important to initially do, what is kind of on the goal for the next year, but it can be done in month 8. We really, really break it down to see how your 52 weeks are from now. Have a think how that goes for you. Now, one thing we think about is, well, back in my day, it was different. It's so modern nowadays. I really believe that you can mix old ways with modern ways, because I've done that myself. I have a lot of what we call old school ways, old school mentality, because I was born in the 70s. And because I act younger and feel younger and